Have you ever stopped to think about why you were born under the sign of Cancer? Was it just a coincidence? Or is there a greater purpose waiting to be discovered? What if I told you that you came into this world with specific spiritual missions, sacred tasks that only your Cancerian soul can fulfill in the right way? Today you will discover the 7 spiritual missions that the universe has given to Cancer, and prepare your heart. Because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you see your life. Perhaps you've already sensed, deep in your soul, that there's something different about you. That sensitivity that others don't understand, that need to care, to protect, to nurture. All of that is not weakness. It's power. It's a mission. It's the call of the universe echoing within your heart. And today, finally, you will understand why you were born this way. Why you feel this way. Why you are this way. This video didn't reach you by chance. Right now, while you're here with me, the universe is showing you that the time has come to awaken to your true purpose. Many Cancerians live their entire lives without discovering these sacred missions, and then they feel lost, empty, as if something is missing. But not you. Not today. Because today you will discover exactly what you came to do on this earth. Get ready. Because what you're about to hear may be the answer your soul has been asking for so long. And when you discover these 7 spiritual missions, your life will never be the same again. Because it will finally make sense. Everything will fall into place. And you will understand why you went through everything you went through. And where the universe is taking you now. First mission. To be the guardian of unconditional love. Cancer's first spiritual mission is the most sacred of all. You came into this world to be the guardian of unconditional love. And pay close attention to that word. Unconditional. This means a love that doesn't demand anything in return, that doesn't judge, that doesn't expect anything in return. A love that simply exists pure and true, like a mother's love for her child. Like the love that heals, that welcomes, that transforms. The universe chose Cancer to carry this mission because it knew that only you would have the emotional strength necessary to love in this way. Many people confuse your capacity to love with weakness, emotional dependence, neediness. But they don't understand. They don't know that loving unconditionally is one of the most difficult things in this world. It takes courage. It takes a willingness to open up, to surrender, to risk getting hurt. And you do that every day. This mission doesn't mean you have to let everyone walk all over you. It doesn't mean you should accept anything from anyone. Quite the opposite. Loving unconditionally also means having the wisdom to set boundaries, to protect yourself, to choose well in whom you invest your love. Because your love is sacred. It's powerful. It's transformative. And it can't be wasted on those who don't know how to value it. How many times have you loved someone who didn't deserve it? How many times have you given everything to someone who only wanted to receive? This happens because you are fulfilling your mission, but you are still learning to find balance. You are learning that loving unconditionally doesn't mean negating yourself. It means loving intelligently, with discernment, with respect for yourself. And you know what's most beautiful? When you love in this way, you're not just changing the lives of the people around you. You're raising the energy of the entire planet. Because unconditional love is the highest vibration that exists in the universe. It's the frequency of healing, peace, and transformation. And every time you choose to love, even when it's difficult, even when it hurts, you are fulfilling your sacred mission. The world needs your love. It needs your ability to see the best in people, to give second chances, to believe in the power of transformation. But always remember, you also deserve to receive the love you give so much of. You also deserve to be cared for, to be welcomed, to be loved unconditionally. And part of your mission is to learn to love yourself in the same way. To treat yourself with the same kindness and patience that you treat others. When you understand that this is your first spiritual mission, everything changes. You stop feeling guilty for being so sensitive, so emotional, so intense in your affections. You understand that you were born this way because you had to be born this way. Because the universe needed someone to remind humanity what true love is. And that person is you. This mission is yours. And you are fulfilling it beautifully, even when you don't realize it. Second mission, to protect and nurture fragile souls. Cancer's second spiritual mission is to be the protector and nurturer of fragile souls. You came into this world to care for those who need care. To welcome those who are alone. To give strength to the weak. To be the hug that saves, the word that heals, the presence that comforts. And that is no small thing. That is a sacred gift that few possess. From a young age, you felt it inside you. that desire to care for abandoned animals, to help a friend who was sad, to protect those who were being mistreated. Many people thought you were silly, naive, too sensitive. But it wasn't anything like that. It was your soul recognizing the mission you came to fulfill. It was the universe's calling guiding you towards your purpose. And this mission to protect and nurture goes far beyond the obvious. It's not just about caring for children, the elderly, the sick. It's about emotionally nurturing the people who cross your path. It's about offering a friendly shoulder when someone needs to vent. It's about making that food with love to nourish not only the body, but the soul of those you love. It's about creating safe spaces where people can be themselves, without fear of judgment. Have you ever noticed how safe people feel around you? How they open up, tell you their secrets, cry in your arms. This happens because your energy is welcoming. People feel they can trust you, that you won't hurt them, that you will cherish everything they share. And that's part of your mission. You are the safe haven in the midst of life's storm. But be careful. This mission can also exhaust you if you don't know how to protect yourself. Because you absorb the pain of others as if it were your own. You feel the suffering of those you love in your own body. And this can completely drain you if you don't learn to set energetic boundaries. You need to understand that you can help without losing yourself. You can care without forgetting about yourself. One of the most important lessons of this mission is learning to say no. No to everyone. No to everything. But to what is harming you, to those who are draining you, to what is preventing you from fulfilling your mission correctly. Because you can't save everyone. And trying to do so will only destroy you. The universe gave you this mission because it trusts you. But it also expects you to be wise enough to take care of yourself while taking care of others. And there's another important thing you need to know. Nurturing doesn't mean doing everything for others. Sometimes the best way to care for someone is to let them face their own battles, learn their own lessons. Love that is too protective can end up weakening them. True care is that which strengthens, teaches, and empowers the person to walk on their own 2 feet. When you understand this, your mission becomes even more powerful. You stop being just the caregiver and transform into the empower. You stop creating dependency and start creating autonomy. And then, yes, you are fulfilling your mission at the highest level. You are being the guardian of fragile souls in the way the universe always intended you to be. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal, and you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive. Messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. Let's continue with our video now. Third mission. To be the bridge between the material world and the spiritual world. Cancer's third spiritual mission is one of the most mysterious and powerful. You came to be the bridge between the material world and the spiritual world. You are here to remind people that there is something greater, something beyond what the eyes can see. You are the channel that brings messages from above, the intuition that guides, the sensitivity that perceives the invisible. Do you know that feeling you sometimes get, that something is going to happen even before it happens? That dream that warns you about something important? That voice inside you that guides you to the right path? That's not a coincidence. That's not imagination. That's your mission manifesting. You are naturally connected to the spiritual world in a way that most people can't understand. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is precisely the celestial body that represents this connection with the invisible, with the emotional, with the world of dreams and intuition. That's why you are so sensitive. That's why you feel things that others don't feel. That's why you perceive energies, pick up messages, understand things without needing someone to explain. You are tuned to a different, higher, more subtle frequency. And this mission is essential for today's world. We live in a time where people are increasingly disconnected from the spiritual, increasingly focused only on the material, the physical, on what can be measured and proven. And that's where you Cancerians come in. You are here to remind humanity that there is much more beyond that there is a spiritual dimension that needs to be honored, respected, cultivated. But fulfilling this mission isn't always easy, because you'll encounter a lot of resistance. Many people will think you're crazy, weird, that you live in a dream world. And maybe you've even doubted yourself because of that. You may have wondered if these things you feel are real, or if you're just making them up. But I tell you with absolute certainty, it's real. Very real. And the more you accept and develop this spiritual connection, the stronger your mission becomes. One way to fulfill this mission is through your presence. You don't need to be a spiritual leader, a guru, a master. You just need to be yourself. Because your energy, your way of seeing the world, your sensitivity, all of that already helps people reconnect with the spiritual side of life. When you talk about your intuitions, when you share your dreams, when you demonstrate faith and trust in the universe, you are planting spiritual seeds in the hearts of those who listen to you. Another way to fulfill this mission is by developing your spiritual gifts. Meditate, pray, study spirituality, learn to interpret your dreams, practice your intuition. The deeper you delve into this path, the more tools you have to help others connect as well. You become a beacon of light in the darkness, a guide for those who are lost, living proof that there is something greater guiding us. And always remember, you are not alone on this mission. The spiritual world is by your side, supporting you, protecting you, guiding you. Your angels, your spiritual guides, your ancestors, they are all rooting for you and helping you fulfill this sacred purpose. Trust your intuition. Trust the signs. Trust the process. Because you are exactly where you should be, doing exactly what you should be doing. Fourth mission, preserve ancestral memory and family traditions. Cancer's fourth spiritual mission is to be the guardian of memory. You came to preserve family stories, honor ancestors, and keep alive the traditions that give meaning and identity to people. In a world where everything changes so quickly, where people forget where they came from, you are here to remember, to connect the past with the present, to ensure that the lessons of those who came before are not lost. Have you ever noticed how interested you are in your family's stories? How you enjoy listening to the tales of the elders? How you cherish old photos, objects that belong to your grandparents, recipes passed down through generations? This isn't nostalgia. This isn't clinging to the past. This is your mission manifesting itself. You understand the importance of honoring your roots, of knowing your history, of preserving your memory. And this mission goes far beyond the family aspect. You are also here to preserve the emotional memory of humanity, to remind people what it was like to have time, to be present, to have true connection, to rescue values that are being lost, such as respect for elders, the importance of family, the value of small things, the beauty of simplicity. How many times have you found yourself wishing things were like they used to be? When families gathered around the table, when people talked while looking each other in the eye, when there was more care and less haste. This isn't nostalgia. It's your soul recognizing that some things from the past were better and deserve to be rescued. And you are here precisely to build that bridge, to bring back what has been lost. One of the most beautiful ways to fulfill this mission is through family traditions. That Sunday lunch you make sure to gather everyone for. That special recipe you learned from your mother and are teaching your children. Those stories you tell repeatedly because you know they carry important lessons. All of this is sacred. All of this is part of your mission. But be careful not to cling too much to the past. Preserving memory doesn't mean living in the past. It doesn't mean rejecting the new, the different, what is to come. Your mission is to bring the best of the past to illuminate the present and build a better future. It's about taking the wisdom of the ancestors and applying it to today's situations. It's about honoring traditions but also having the courage to create new ones when necessary. You also fulfill this mission when you value the elderly, when you listen attentively to what they have to say, when you recognize the wisdom that comes with experience, when you care for your parents and grandparents with love and respect. Because in every elderly person there is a library of memories, stories, and knowledge that can be lost forever if there is no one to listen to them. And that someone is you. The universe gave you this mission because it knew you would have the necessary sensitivity to understand the importance of memory, to understand that we are the product of all those who came before us, that carrying these stories is an honor, not a burden, and that preserving these traditions is ensuring that future generations have strong roots to support them while they build their own wings to fly. Fifth mission, creating homes and spaces for emotional healing. Cancer's fifth spiritual mission is to transform any place into a home. And when I say home, I'm not just talking about a house for walls and a roof. I'm talking about energy, about comfort, about emotional security. You came into this world to create spaces where people can let their guard down, take off their masks, and truly be themselves. Places where the soul can rest. No matter where you are, you carry that energy of home with you. It could be at your house, at your work, at a friend's house. In some mysterious way, you manage to transform any environment into a more welcoming, warmer, more human place. And people feel it. They feel that near you they can relax, they can be vulnerable, they can heal. This mission is deeply connected to feminine energy, to the archetype of the mother, the caregiver. Even if you are a man, even if you don't have children, you carry this maternal energy within you. It is the energy that nourishes, that protects, that welcomes. It is the energy that says, here you are safe, here you can be yourself, here you are loved exactly as you are. And you know what's even more incredible? You create these healing spaces not always consciously. Sometimes it's just the way you arrange your home, putting that warm blanket on the sofa, lighting that scented candle, preparing that meal with care. Sometimes it's the way you welcome people, with a warm hug, a genuine smile, that attention that makes the person feel special. But this mission goes far beyond the physical. You also create emotional homes. You are the person others run to when they need solace, comfort, understanding. Your lap is a home. Your words are a home. Your presence is a home. And that is one of the greatest gifts you can give someone in this harsh and cold world. However, you need to be careful not to forget to create this home for yourself as well. It's no use being everyone's refuge if you yourself have nowhere to rest. It's no use taking care of everyone else if no one takes care of you. Part of your mission is to learn to create this healing space for your own soul, to give yourself the same nurturing you offer to others. And there's something else important. Home isn't about perfection. It's not about having the most beautiful house, the most expensive decorations, everything always tidy and impeccable. Home is about energy. It's about love. It's about connection. You can live in a palace and not have a home. And you can live in a simple place and have the most welcoming home in the world. Because what transforms a space into a home is the energy you put there, the love you radiate, the intention you put into every detail. When you understand this mission, you stop demanding so much of yourself in terms of external perfection and start focusing on what really matters. Making people feel loved, safe, and welcomed. And then you discover that your true home is not a physical place. It's a state of mind that you carry within you and share with the world. Sixth mission: to teach the value of vulnerability and emotional expression. Cancer's sixth spiritual mission is to teach the world that it's necessary to feel, that it's necessary to express, that it's necessary to be vulnerable. You came to this earth to show people that it's okay to cry, it's okay to be afraid, it's okay to admit that you're weak, because it is precisely in vulnerability that true strength resides. We live in a world that teaches people to be tough, to hide their feelings, to pretend everything is okay even when everything is falling apart. A world that sees sensitivity as weakness, tears as shame, emotional expression as something negative. And you are here to break that paradigm, to show that the path is the opposite, that healing begins when we stop pretending and start feeling. Have you ever been judged for being too sensitive? Have you ever been told that you cry for no reason, that you feel too much, that you need to be stronger? Well, know that this is not true. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a mission. You feel everything so intensely because you need to teach others how to do it. How to allow yourself to feel without being destroyed by your feelings. And that's one of the hardest lessons you've come to teach. Because there's a huge difference between feeling emotions and being controlled by them. You're here to show that it's possible to be in touch with all your emotions, to fully experience each feeling, and still move forward. That crying doesn't make you weak. That admitting you're afraid doesn't make you a coward. That asking for help doesn't make you less capable. How many people have felt comfortable crying around you? How many times has someone told you they feel lighter after talking to you? This happens because you create a safe space where people can be emotionally honest, where they don't have to pretend they're made of steel, where they can take off their armor and reveal their wounds. And that's transformative. But to fully accomplish this mission, you need to learn to deal with your own emotions in a healthy way. Because it's no use teaching others how to feel if you yourself are drowning in your own feelings. You need to learn to surf the emotional wave. To feel everything intensely but not let it paralyze you. To cry when you need to cry but to get up when it's over. One of the biggest traps for Cancer is becoming addicted to emotional pain. Dwelling on grievances, reliving painful situations, remaining trapped in cycles of suffering. This is not fulfilling the mission. This is getting lost in it. The true mission is to feel, process, learn, and move on. It is to transform pain into wisdom, It is to use suffering as a bridge to evolution. You also fulfill this mission when you share your own vulnerabilities, when you have the courage to say you're not okay, when you ask for help, when you admit you were wrong, that you're confused, that you don't have all the answers. Because every time you do that, you're giving permission for other people to do the same. You're showing that being human is this being imperfect, incomplete, in constant process. The world needs this mission more than ever. It needs to learn that suppressing emotions makes the body and soul sick. That pretending everything is all right when it's not only makes things worse. That true healing begins when we stop, sit with the pain, look it in the eye, and allow it to transform. And you, dear Cancerian, are the teacher of this sacred lesson. Seventh mission, to awaken compassion and empathy in humanity. Cancer's seventh and final spiritual mission is the most urgent for the world today. You have come to awaken compassion and empathy in humanity. You are here to remind people that we are all one, that the pain of others is our pain, that there is no individual evolution without collective evolution. You are the heart of humanity. Compassion is not pity. It's not watching someone suffer and feeling superior because you're better off. Compassion is feeling with the other person. It's truly putting yourself in their place. It's understanding that if you were in the same circumstances, under the same conditions, with the same story, you might react the same way. It's ceasing to judge and beginning to understand. And you were born with this gift. You can feel what others feel even if they don't say anything. You can tell when someone is upset just by looking at them. You can pick up on the energy of a room in seconds. This isn't just sensitivity. It's a superpower. It's your tool to fulfill this mission of awakening empathy in others. Because the world is becoming increasingly cold, more divided, more cruel. People are increasingly focused on themselves, less and less capable of truly caring about others. And then you come along with this capacity to feel, to care, to be moved. You are the water that extinguishes the fire of selfishness. You are the light that illuminates the darkness of indifference. But this mission doesn't mean you have to save the world alone. It doesn't mean you have to carry the pain of all humanity on your shoulders. It means that through your example, through the way you treat people, you will inspire others to do the same. One by one, little by little, like expanding waves. Every time you choose kindness over rudeness, you are fulfilling this mission. Every time you listen to someone with genuine attention instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, you are planting a seed of empathy. Every time you treat the waiter, the driver, the cleaner with the same respect you would treat a king, you are teaching compassion. And there's something very important you need to understand. This mission also includes having compassion for yourself. Because you can't give what you don't have. You can't teach others to be kind to themselves if you yourself are harsh and cruel to your own mistakes. You can't ask for empathy from the world if you don't have empathy for your own wounds and limitations. How many times have you been too hard on yourself? How many times have you been harsher on yourself than you would be on anyone else? This needs to change. Because part of this mission to awaken compassion is to start with yourself. It's about learning to look at yourself with the same loving eyes with which you look at others. It's about forgiving yourself as easily as you forgive those you love. When you fulfill this mission, you are not just changing individual lives. You are changing the energetic frequency of the planet. Because every act of compassion, every gesture of empathy, every moment of true human connection raises the vibration of the entire collective. You are literally helping to create a better world, one person at a time, one gesture at a time. And the most beautiful thing is that you don't even need to do grandiose things. You don't need to become a humanitarian leader, create an organization, or change laws. You fulfill this mission in your daily life, in the little things. A genuine smile, a word of comfort, a hug at the right moment, an attentive presence. All of this is revolutionary in a world that has forgotten how to care. If this message resonated with your zodiac sign, trust me, it's no coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal. And you're here because you needed to hear this today. Your contribution as a subscriber or member is what keeps these messages alive. Messages that touch, awaken, and transform lives. And if this video made sense to you, leave your birth date in the comments. We've reached the end of this journey of discovery, and what you've just heard may completely change how you see yourself. Because now you know. Now you understand. That sensitivity that always made you feel different isn't a problem. It's a purpose. That enormous heart that suffers so much but loves so much isn't a weakness. It's a sacred mission. Cancer's 7 spiritual missions are not easy. They never have been. They never will be. Because loving unconditionally hurts. Because protecting others can leave you vulnerable. Because being the bridge between worlds requires courage. Because preserving memory requires patience. Because creating homes demands dedication. Because teaching vulnerability exposes you. Because awakening compassion makes you sensitive to the world's pain. But you know what? You were chosen precisely for this reason. Because the universe knew you would be strong enough to carry these missions. It knew that even hurt, you would continue loving. Even tired, you would continue caring. Even wounded, you would continue opening up. Because that is your essence. That is your strength. That is your light. So if you're feeling lost, if you're doubting your worth, if you're wondering why you are the way you are, I want you to come back here and remember these 7 missions. I want you to understand that you weren't born wrong. You're not too sensitive. You're not too intense. You are exactly what the world needs. You are the answer that many souls are searching for. And now I ask you a very important question. Of these 7 missions you have just discovered, which one touched your heart the most? Which one have you already been fulfilling without even realizing it? And which one do you need to begin honoring more consciously? Think about it. Feel it. Because this answer will show you what the next step in your spiritual journey is. Remember when I asked you at the beginning to leave your birth date in the comments if this message resonated with you? Go ahead and do it now. Because when you leave your birth date, you're affirming to the universe that you're ready to fulfill your missions with more awareness and purpose. And more than that, you're creating a chain of energy with other Cancerians who are watching this video right now. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. Because here you'll find much more content to help you understand your sign, fulfill your missions, and evolve spiritually. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. And if these messages truly touch your heart, consider becoming a channel member. Your contribution is what allows me to continue bringing you this life-changing content. You didn't arrive here by chance. Right now, the universe is showing you that it's time to awaken to your true power. Your spiritual missions are waiting for you. The world needs you. And you already have everything you need within yourself to fulfill each of these missions beautifully. So go, my dear Cancerian. Go love. Go care. Go connect. Go preserve. Go embrace. Go feel. Go awaken. Because the world needs your light. The world needs your heart. The world needs you being exactly who you are. Your missions are sacred. And you are sacred.